And we're back. You're listening to Radio Chatskill. This is the Culture Club. I'm your host, Harold Tighe. Nick Roes joins us from the Barryville Area Arts Alliance. He's going to fill us in on everything going on over in Barryville and Shohola. And as usual, it's very busy over there. And I'm not even sure I can talk to him anymore because now he's a music mogul. So good morning, Nick, and welcome to the Culture Club.
I like to rub elbows with the lower classes every once in a while.
Thank you
That's why
so
I came
much.
here today,
Thank
actually.
You so much, yes. I'll shine your shoes. No. So fill us in on what's going on.
Well, actually, there's so much going on. What you referred to, we had a grant administered through the Delaware Valley Arts Association to sponsor 3 local musicians who were singer-songwriters.
Great.
And so we did that. It was great. We have a YouTube channel called Sullivan Sings where their songs can be heard. And then now, after the grant, we've given the final grant report, and we're stuck with a record company. So we're going to keep it going, and we're going to be inviting everybody who we can expand it now beyond the borders of Sullivan County, so it can include your entire listening area. I was speaking yesterday to people from the Delaware Valley Opera and the chamber music guy that was at that meeting that we both attended.
That's
and
right.
It sounds like it can be a really exciting thing to have music every place, on Spotify, YouTube, because it's not very difficult now, and we know the ropes of that. So we're willing to promote and produce anybody's original music that would like to.
That's great. And, of course, the key is original music because otherwise you start getting into copyright issues and infringement and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
if you feel like you have a really good interpretation of one song, we can get the license for you and put that out as a single.
Wow.
But it's complicated to do a whole album of cover songs. So we just want people to shine their light.
Very good, very good. And if they want to get hold of you, how do they get hold of you about the music? It's probably all the same number for everything.
Yeah, Barryville Area Arts at gmail.com or 845-557-8713.
So now, you brought up to me, we were chatting off the air, and you said how you wanted to mention how the Barryville Area Arts Community Center is different from other galleries. So fill us in on what it is and what it does.
Yeah, I was just speaking about that with Rocky, your next guest outside, and it's kind of interesting because it's almost like an ungallery, I'm realizing. It's kind of the opposite of a lot of other places because community is actually the focus, not the art, and we think art is the way to build community. So through reaching the artist in all of us, we think everybody's an artist. So we think that's one thing that unites us. Politics and religion are supposed to unite us, but lots of times they separate us. So there's so many people who are need to build community. We actually got one of the grants that we got from the Pennsylvania side of the river. It sounds a little bit funny, but the language in the grant, I thought they might think I was crazy, but I said we want to break down stereotypes that exist between Shohola and Milford. Yes. And so there is a small portion of the population who thinks in Milford that thinks Shohola is toothless hillbillies, and there's some people in Shohola that think Milford are snooty snobs. Mm-hmm. So we want both people to get together, and because there's a little bit of hillbilly and snooty in all of us, and Absolutely. We'll celebrate that instead of making jokes about each other. I know some good jokes from both of those sides too.
We won't go there because you probably can't tell them on air.
so anyway, it's like personally, I'm as much at home as an opera as a professional wrestling match because I think they're both art forms.
Sure.
And I think that they're both can be appreciated that way. I think whenever you can't appreciate something that a lot of other people appreciate, you should try harder because there's something there that you're missing. And that's really what we're trying to do. And it really is infectious and contagious because we're growing and growing as we have more and more fun things to do.
There you go. And I see you got on your list of things that's coming up, the Plein Air events. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Plein
Air. Okay, there we go.
So we've done a lot of plein air events. That's a community painting party where people get together. We started doing one at the Delaware River. Then it was so much fun. We did one at night. We did one at a lake. We did one at Etche Bed and Breakfast. Then we did one we thought maybe we'll do in the city. So we did historic buildings in Milford, and it's all people painting outside.
Nice.
And I thought everybody was going to say, get off my lawn and that kind of stuff. But everybody was so nice. They invited us in. They took pictures with us and things like that. So next year, the Western Sullivan Library System is going to probably take over that plein air on the New York side of the river through a grant that they've applied for with the DVAA. And we're going to do ours on the other side of the river with the different things. I think they have planned a graveyard. Drawing in a graveyard, which sounds good. A farm.
That'll probably be their October one,
and
right?
a garden, probably, yeah. And we're going to do it again in Milford, and then another one up in Equinox, probably. Mm-hmm. So, and then after that, we always have a celebration to show off the paintings that we did with a presentation. So when we did the one last time at Hestie's Garden, the presentation was related to flowers and gardening. So we had a presentation, Petunias Not Prozac, the mental health benefits of gardening. So we're planning another whole year of events like that. And the first Saturday of every month at the Artist Market Community Center is an event like that you can go to, and it could be a mermaid parade, it could be a cabin fever event, and everything is related to that theme for that month.
Very good. And as we've spoken before, because I know we've talked about plein air on the radio before, you don't have to be Pablo Picasso to participate, right? Part of the thing here is you're interested in being a painter, and they'll help you do that.
Right. We have facilitators who come to the and it's kind of collegial. So the people who've been painting a long time might give advice to other people. Sometimes I think it's better not to even try to follow a teacher, like just to follow yourself and scribble your own way. Because if you go to art school, usually you learn just to paint the same way everybody else paints.
Right.
But if you just take a pen and you go and lock yourself away someplace else and you never listen to anybody else, but you can continue to grow as an artist also, and you might get to a place where nobody else has ever been before.
Cool.
So, Picasso said famously, it took me a lifetime to learn to paint like a child. So I'm way ahead of him because I paint like a child already.
There you go. And of course, it's that time of year as, we've got some snowflakes falling over here in northeastern Pennsylvania this morning. We don't want to mention that too often, but it is becoming close to the holiday season, 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving, and you've got a holiday show coming up.
Yes, this is our biggest, the time the artists sell the most of their work. But again, the focus is not always on sales there. So we're going to have hot chocolate, cookies, and we're going to celebrate all the holiday traditions. But our exhibit is of Renaissance art that tells the story of Christmas through the master's paintings. So that's really good. It's from painting of the Annunciation, where Mary finds out that she's going to be pregnant, to their flight from Egypt, hiding from Herod, all in classical art. There's 10 prints in that. So that's really good. But we're going to really celebrate all traditions there. It's just that the Renaissance painters mostly were sponsored by the Catholic Church, and that's why that theme is the one that's featured. So I think that will be really fun, too. And we have a lot of things that you can't find anyplace else because the artists actually work all year to have one-of-a-kind gifts for people who come to this particular event. So there's scarves that are infused with the pigment of local leaves and flowers. There's fence posts that have been shaped into mermaids and fish and painted to and a lot of repurposing things also. But there are things that if you get it there, nobody else will have the same thing.
Very nice. And when will that open?
That's December 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. in Shohola, Pennsylvania, 114 Richardson Avenue.
In Shohola? And is that an ongoing thing?
It'll be up after that, too. But the big party is, we always have coffee, but we'll have better refreshments if you come from 4 to 6 on that time. But stop in any weekend, and you can have hot chocolate and cookies with us.
Very good, very good. And what was the address again there?
114 Richardson Avenue, Shohola, Pennsylvania. And the Artist Market Community Center donates the space to the Barryville Area Arts Association to do all these things that we do.
It is just so great that Nick and I and many others were at a meeting yesterday sponsored by Delaware Valley Arts Alliance about the arts community in Sullivan County especially, and how we are all starting to depend on each other a little more.
Yeah, there's such a nice bunch of people. I thought about that since I've been there, and I would say the people all seemed like they were thinking that they weren't working hard enough, but I think they should have more fun, and that might help.
That's right. There you go. All right, so thank you so much for coming in this morning. Once again, if they need more information, what's the website?
BarryvilleAreaArts.org.
BarryvilleAreaArts.org. And, of course, your big event, the holiday show opening December 1st, just a couple of weeks away now. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
December. Oh, geez. From 4 to 6. And
we had the snow today, too.
And we had the snow, so there you go, okay? So December 1st, 4 to 6 p.m. over at the Artist Community Market in Shohola. It's on Richardson Avenue in Shohola, PA. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks
getting
so much
up
for having
early
me.
on a cold
always
Saturday
a pleasure.
morning.
Thanks very much.
All right, we'll be back after this.